can't sleep, trapped in my own mind. Anxiety. Drowning in the darkness, just can't see the light. Depression. Doubtful, insecure, can I really do this? Imposter syndrome. I'm alone, unloved, just feel invisible. That's loneliness. We're not therapists, but we need one.
Hello, and welcome to We're Not Therapists, but we need one.
The podcast where we have honest and vulnerable conversations about our mental health with one another.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Anthony, and neither of us are therapists.
But we're trying to help ourselves and each other by sharing our experiences and feelings.
In this show, we'll deep dive into topics like anxiety, depression,
self-esteem, trauma, and more.
We'll talk about how they affect us,
how we cope,
and what we've learned along the way.
We're not doing this to bash or blame anyone,
especially our families who may have contributed to our mental health challenges.
We're doing this to heal and grow,
and hopefully inspire others who can relate and open your mind to your own healing.
We also want to warn you that this show may contain some sensitive and triggering content.
We'll be talking about personal and painful things that happen to us and how they still affect us to this day.
If you're not comfortable with that, or if you feel like you need professional help,
this show may not be for you. But
if you're ready to join us on this journey of self-discovery and self-improvement, we're glad to have you.
We're not experts, but we're honest and we're not alone.
Now, let's start the timer. Anthony, how do you feel today?
I'm doing all right. I'm still stocked up. I've had COVID since last Wednesday, so for a week now. I'm doing mostly better. I still am struggling to breathe through my nose. Yeah.
That's
and aside from being yeah, but I've been I mouth breathe all the time. So luckily, whenever I'm around other people, I put a mask on so I can just go. But physically, yeah, doing all right. Mentally, the past 2 days, I have been in a foul fucking mood.
Ooh, relatable.
I couldn't peg it down yesterday. I don't know. I think I'm just in a bad mood, and I've been really, really hard on myself. This last weekend, I didn't do anything because I was sick. I've had COVID. I've literally been really actually factually sick, hacking up a bunch of green stuff and being gross. And today I was sitting there being hard on myself for not doing anything over the weekend. So being an adult is stupid.
It is 100%. I can relate to that a lot as I'm typing while you're talking because there's so much going on.
Yeah. And I feel like I've got stuff that I want to accomplish and it's just not all getting done at once. And I'm just shitting on myself about it. And I know that I can't do that. And I know that I need to do it sort of one change at a time. But oh my God. I think I'm really disenfranchised with things right now. I'm disenchanted with my work and I'm disenfranchised with existence.
I mean, that's pretty relatable.
Am I boring
Sorry,
you?
you're so
Is
boring.
my disenfranchisement boring you?
No, that's just, I definitely go through those phases. Right now I'm in the opposite. I'm in this constant go production, get things done. And even this last weekend, I took Friday off, which I only work 4 hours on Fridays, but I took the whole Friday off to get a couple extra things done. And I was like, oh, well, it'll be really nice this weekend. I can be real quiet. And then ended up Saturday and Sunday, I was just up and going constantly. I would sit down and take a lazy moment, and then I'd be like, well, you could just mop the floors really quick. It was shit like that. And I'm like, who am I?
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, I go through these bouts of being productive and these bouts of being unproductive, and, it's almost like I distract myself from personal projects by doing things that I do need to do, like cleaning the house. And I'm just in a weird place. I'm in a bad place. Not bad place. I'm in a weird place. Let's just put it that way. I'm not necessarily in a bad place, but I am just super everything feels minorly tedious to some degree, and all of the things that need to be done feel like, why the fuck do I care a lot? Like, I don't know.
Do you feel like that hit after like getting knocked off your gym routine?
So that's the thing, is I only went one time this year because
I
I
thought
was
you had more.
I was literally about to start back up. I went once Monday of last week, and my plan was to ease myself into it and do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then either Saturday or Sunday I would go on a hike. And Monday I went and I took it easy, and then Wednesday I was sick. So I've been sick ever since.
Yeah.
Because we're doing dry January. And so I was like, okay, one thing at a time. You're doing dry January, just chill, like, that focus on that. And then when you feel like you want to go to the gym, go ahead and go. Even though like you're not gonna feel like you want to go to the gym the first time, but like on a day that you feel like today is a good day for it. Today has the time.
Today might be a gym day. This is the closest I am. Let's go.
Right. I'm not like stoked. I'm just I've got the energy and I've got the time.
Yeah.
And so like, and I always forget when I work out, I feel a lot better. I feel good. And so I felt good after that workout. It was nice and like good. It worked out the muscles because I do chest and back on Mondays, and I felt good. And yeah. And then Wednesday just fucking knocked me over.
Yeah.
So
I can't.
yeah.
I'm so sorry. Why the fuck am I yawning so much? I hate that I'm starting the gym rough like in January because I'm not doing it as like a new year, new me. Like this is my New Year's resolution. It just happens to be the time frame that I can reset my brain and kind of get myself on a new track.
Right.
And because the holidays are not a busy time once I start taking off. And so it's annoying that it's right at the same time as everyone else. But in general, I started kind of hitting the gym, which right now I'm hitting like 3 days a week. And I've always been a cardio queen because I was very, very, very embarrassed at the idea. Thank you, Blatch, for knocking off whatever you did. Anyways, I always did cardio because my parents bullied me basically as a kid because they were just bullies about how I wasn't strong and wasn't a gym major a like workout buff, a sports guy. And so I kind of got bullied for it in their way.
Yeah.
And so it made me extraordinarily self-conscious at the idea of lifting weights. And so I just never got into it. And this time around, I was like, you really need to. You need to make sure that you're keeping your back muscles in better shape. You can get rid of your little spare tire. You need to just tone up a little bit. You're not trying to be a bodybuilder. Anyways, I'm fucking loving it. I am annoyed that I was so self-conscious for such a long time.
I prefer doing weightlifting exercises. I prefer strength training to cardio because cardio is fine, but I don't feel like it accomplishes half of what strength training can do in that amount of time.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting a call, not a call, but a request for a conference call, and I'm like, give me 22 minutes. Why the fuck am I so busy lately? But yeah, it's I technically I do cardio every time. I start 10 minutes of cardio. And so I was like doing treadmill, and now I get on the elliptical, which I always think is such an underrated piece of equipment because I sweat a fuck ton in the first 10 minutes if you just like up that tension a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I'm like super sweaty, and then I fucking go to weights, and like today was upper body, and I pushed myself pretty hard. I went a little fast because I didn't want to be in there too long, but God, like I feel fantastic now. I think that's what's making me more productive lately is I think my body feels good.
It helps a lot. And that's where I actually, part of why I didn't go the first couple of weeks of the month was because I was afraid of exactly what you're talking about. I don't want to go while everyone's doing their New Year's resolution. And I was a little bit afraid of that. So I also, though, I do get off work at like 3:30, so I can go right after that and generally miss the crowd. And so I was a little like wary about it last Monday when I went, and it wasn't busy at all. And I did everything I needed to do. I didn't have to wait for any weights or machines. It was nice. And I felt so good afterwards. And I was really excited because the next day I was nice and sore in all the right places. And yeah, so I'm excited to get back to doing it whenever I'm not, Typhoid Mary.
I am enjoying the soreness from it, except, of course, the moments like a couple weeks ago when I did leg day and then stood up and fell off the couch because I didn't realize that all my muscle had just disappeared. But today I pushed my arms pretty hard, so I'm curious if in 30 minutes, whenever I go to, I don't know, pick up anything, I just drop it. So I'll reach for glass
my double
first.
cheeseburger.
Which, speaking of, I got to figure out dinner after this. I'm behind on dinner.
I don't think Joe knows, but I think I'm going to make sushi with some leftover smoked salmon we've got.
Fuck
yeah. I know.
Ooh, I may walk down and get sushi now that you say that.
It's so good. But yeah, I'm hoping once I get into once I get back to working out and having that it will help me to feel a little better about things. Because right now I'm just like, not feeling it. Not like, again, I'm just not feeling great about anything right now. Plus, we've gone through 2 bank account hacks this month, so that's been awful. And that's really disenfranchised me to people even more because I'm just like, people are just awful right now. And it feels weird because I'm in this place where I'm like, you know what? Like, the future sucks. All the cool things we thought we were going to get, we got the capitalist versions of, which was basically like pay to play everything. Like at some point, I can't wait to, not be able to access fresh water because my Nestle subscription didn't go through. Like, it's little things like that pop into my mind where I'm just like, what is the point of all this if I'm just going to have to keep existing under this horrible capitalist regime for the rest of my life? And never find much enjoyment to anything. And I know that's being dramatic, but this is where my brain is at.
Well, and then you get on social media at all, but any news, it's just like I'm dodging it hardcore because I have been teetering on getting out of a depression for a while. And I'm finally like feeling good. I don't look it right now because I'm still in my gym gear and my hair's all scattered, but I'm feeling good. For anyone watching, that's what's happened. And I have to dodge all of the news, even though there's no way I can, because like one of my friends today is a COO for a nonprofit and now is trying to figure out financing paychecks for the next 45 days because all their funding's frozen. So like, I can't not hear it because it's impacting so many people I know in so many ways. And I'm like, the fuck? Like,
I know.
How is this happening?
It's absurd. And what I don't understand is like that news I found out today as well. And I wasn't trying to, a friend sent it to me. And I was just like, I don't want to read this. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I do. Maybe now's the time. I'm already feeling like shit today, so I might as well just dive in.
I read it just so I could understand it better because I felt bad for my friend.
I need to read a little bit more into it because from what I understand, like it's all like the nonprofit government funding, but also like Medicare and Medicaid, which I don't understand how that's going to impact things like Sooner Care, which is what my grandma and my niece use. And I'm just like, okay, so
and free school lunches, all that stuff, like everything's getting impacted, and I'm just like, I'm glad that you're all very shitty people, so that you can get cheaper eggs. And
it's not even what are the eggs cheaper?
No, they're more expensive.
Right? Like where the fuck is any of this? And I just don't get it because people do. This is also what's got me super disenfranchised because of the fundamental lack of understanding people have around how government works and how society works.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me so fucking irritated because politicians will just lie. And there's no recourse that we have for them just lying about things. Like, it's just wild to me. Remember how we almost got Bill Clinton for perjury? But that was only because he was under oath. He could have lied about anything else at any given time. It would have been like, well, shit.
Yeah.
But now you got this baboon, this orange ass motherfucker who is just straight up lying. It's just everything he said. Not everything. 50% of what he says to 60% of what he says is a lie. That's not even just conjecture. That's AP polling. Like that's not polling, but that's like the Associated Press looked at the things that he has said and said, you know what? These are outright lies or mistruths. Anyways, so that's also got me just, I don't know. It's very hard to be socially conscious and maintain a sort of positive viewpoint on things for me sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just trying so hard to dodge it. And it's not because I don't... It's not because I like being ill-informed. It's because for my own sanity, I have to do it. And then I just keep saying my theory that the more you take away from me, the more, the less I have to lose. So I don't give a shit what I do, like how crazy I go.
Yeah.
And I mean that, like, confidently saying that, like, that is not a, like, oh, yeah, you take enough away, I'll do whatever.
There's a whole big part of me that wishes I cared less about a lot of things because I struggle with caring too much about things and it causes me a lot of heartache and a lot of heartburn. And I really wish that my brain would stop going through the loops of certain things. Like I don't know. Also, I have to clear my throat. So it's like I want to not give a fuck about anything, but it's when people that I know and care about get impacted that I start caring. Like it's almost like I couldn't give a fuck about myself, but it's other people. And
Well, it's because we know how to take care of ourselves and we can always figure something out, and others aren't as capable, I sometimes feel.
Well, and it's just, I don't know. I want to take care of people. Like I'm a caregiver.
People pleaser.
Yeah, well, people pleaser. Somebody, yeah. Anyways, I want people to be taken care of, and I want to take care of people whenever I can take care of people, but I just can't. I can't. My bandwidth is so limited right now, and like this whole month, I haven't visited my grandma or my niece. And I love them both, but like I just have not felt like it. And then this last weekend, I literally didn't feel like it. Like I was sick, so there was that. But I don't know.
And
I
the
feel
worst
like
part about it-
I feel like I'm tapped out right now. I'm just tapped.
And I'm taking it out on my parents because, like, this weekend I just ignored the phone calls from them because mom calls every weekend so she could, talk at me. Not really ask about what I'm doing, but just tell me what she's doing.
Right.
And so I'm just ignoring because I'm like, I'm so upset at what's going on that this is what you pick and this is what you think is okay. And I can't talk to you without pointing out all of your hypocrisy.
That's really where it's at right now. It drives me so fucking crazy. Like today, I was sitting in my office. My boss came in my office. I had my mask on because I don't want to get my boss sick. And one of the people on my floor comes over and is like, "Hey, what are you guys talking about?" We're literally talking about work. And he's just like, he was like, "Oh, are you sick? You ill?" And I was like, "Well, I've got COVID and I need to retest to see if it's okay for me to not, be wearing a mask. And I don't want to get everybody else sick while I'm here." And you guys don't pay me if I'm not here, so here I am. But anyways, he's like, oh yeah, COVID, blah, blah. Luckily it's not anything worse than a cold now, blah, blah. And, back, 3-4 years ago, the flu stopped existing because of COVID. And and I was like, you're just the biggest, stupidest idiot, aren't you? You just are so dumb. That's, I don't know. And it's things like that make me think of like what you're saying with your parents, where I'm just like, you're so incredibly stupid that I don't want to talk to you, because if I talk to you, I don't think I will be able to hold back on all the ways that you're being fucking stupid.
Yeah. And that's it. I'm like, I can't talk to you right now because I know what's going on in your brain and how happy you are right now. And you just take nobody else into consideration. And it just makes me assume you're a bad person in some way.
No, I think it's worth saying that person's a bad person at that point. If you can see the news and say, hey, I'm so glad that people who need Medicare and Medicaid aren't going to have access to that. I'm so glad that these nonprofits are not going to be able to pay their bills. I'm so glad that kids aren't going to be getting free lunches because that's my tax dollars. But you're simultaneously okay with us spending money on bombing foreign countries and killing innocent people. I think that makes you a pretty shitty person.
Unfunding all of these nonprofits takes a lot of people out of work too. So
yep.
That is opening up a market of jobless people. So fuck the economy. You're just going to have to figure that out. Hopefully I can get my house sold right before then.
We'd love to give you some, free Medicare while you're pouring out of work, but you can't get that either.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about, the worst part about it is I just feel like a shitty person because I'm like, I want you to suffer in some way from your choice.
I think it's one of those things where until they have something that affects them directly, that they can see the trail from the decision maker to them without feeling like all the lies are the real truth, then they're just going to keep making those decisions. But until then, when that does happen, they might change their mind. But at this point, I think they've so far bought into it that it's almost that mentality that boomers have around admitting they're wrong where they can't do it. So, they're just going to keep doubling down no matter what.
Oh, I mean, it's like groceries, we can't solve Biden's issue that fast of getting groceries down cheap. And I'm like, no. You did not give Biden at all any of that grace when he had to help resolve global inflation and knock the United States down to one of the lowest inflation rates globally. You didn't give him that grace. You just yelled and said he kept things too expensive. So now you don't get that grace from me.
I mean, but
I know how it fucking works, but it's corporations is what it is. That's how inflation stays up. Is corporations, they're not going to cut the cost of things. They're going to keep making money now that the cost is less for them.
Right. If it costs them less and they can keep the price point up, why wouldn't you do it?
The only way inflation decreases is when you get enough income increasing that it finally meets that point.
Yeah, it's a good thing we're deregulating the markets, because once we do that, obviously those prices will fall naturally because we've deregulated the markets, right? People won't price set, right? Billionaires will think about us, right?
Billionaires always think about the small people. Also, on top of that, where was my mind going with that? I just blanked out. It's right there. No, fuck it. Damn it. It was a good thought, too.
I'm sure it was.
It always is. I'm full of them.
I believe you. As I always do.
Knew it.
Yeah, that's got to be, that's definitely a contributing factor to why I'm in such a shit mood. It's just that, and it's like I can't avoid it no matter what.
Yeah.
And I just want to feel like I have things to look forward to, I want to feel like life is not just going to be me running the fucking rat race until the rat race literally kills me.
Yeah. I'm just keeping myself busy with all the other shit that I'm doing. And boy, let me tell you, my plate is loaded right now. There's so much happening. in and outside of work right now that it's just, there's not a quiet moment in my mind. I could not imagine what my life would be like right now if I weren't on medications to help regulate my thought process. Because
Yeah.
with the entire global situation there with the U.S. politics, that's just a heavy burden on top of my busy job right now, my car situation, my house situation, and now I'm working on planning a vacation situation. Um, what else is there? There's so much more. It's just full in there, and then somebody will bring up something that I completely forgot about, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that was in my list of stuff I had to remember." And so it's just like I can't even keep track of it. There's no full way to keep track of it. There's just so much uncertainty and chaos that I'm just kind of going with the flow and hoping I get it all.
Yeah, that sounds. I'm not going to say that sounds nice. That actually sounds horrible to me.
Well, on top of that, I found out my house has been looked over a few times by people because my neighbor's a huge Trump supporter, and he has a whole bunch of flags out, and one of them is a flag with a cartoon Donald Trump on it that says "Daddy's home." And my realtor is like telling them, "Oh, by the way, the current homeowner is like very liberal, and they've gotten along the entire time." And they're like, "Oh, I totally understand. That just looks like a nuisance." And I was like,
It is a
right.
fucking nuisance. They are.
They
correct.
are right. It is a nuisance. He's a nice guy. It's just he's the guy that'll bitch about gays getting, gay pride and having to be in everyone's face about it. Can't they just live normally like I did? Because he was always like, "You're a cool neighbor about it." And I'm just like, here you are bitching about everyone being in your face about it, and you've made Trump your personality.
That's your pride flag there.
That's your pride flag.
Yeah.
You are gay pride Trump.
Yeah, that's you know what? I like this comparison a lot because it's accurate.
It is a correlation. You, gay pride, Trump.
You have turned this into your personality.
Yeah, you've turned this in. Yeah, you've turned Trump into your gay pride, and that's how I see all Trumpies like that.
That's how I see you.
It's your own gay pride.
I will forever see you, and it's not.
And if you're gonna tear down a pride flag, I'll tear down a Trump flag then.
Yeah, I mean, basically. Well, and already the Trump flags are just completely anti-American in that they generally put Trump's face on American flags and do shit like that. Where I'm like, you're defaming the flag. You know what I mean?
Defacing?
Defacing, yeah. Defacing, same difference.
It's not as famous anymore. Oh no, well, it's not what it used to be. I get that.
It's infamous at this point.
You used to only have 13 stars. No, I'm kidding.
We should go back.
God. Speaking of my friend who is, God, what national? Whatever. He's one of the tribes, very, very much one of the tribes, and they've sent out notifications that they should all be carrying their cards because ICE is stopping some of them because they're confusing them.
Because they have brown skin, and yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell.
And it's just called racism.
It's always been racist. Jesus
It's
Christ.
just more amplified now because
it's
there's people in office that are allowing it.
Jesus Christ. I've seen where they've told there are certain schools that are telling kids to make sure that they have some sort of like school identification with them. And I can't fathom people calling themselves good people and supporting things like this, where I'm just like, you're just straight up evil. This is not even tangentially I'm being overly dramatic Nazi Germany shit. This is just straight up Nazi Germany shit. Okay. Like, we're just in the early phase of it.
Yeah, that's it. I was like, we're just not gassing them yet. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only difference. We're not there yet. Hitler was not at that point at one point. Also, I don't even if I recall right when I was researching, there was no true point that they could find that made, what was it, that showed why Hitler was so against Jewish people. There was no like solid line that goes, this is what I hate, but it was basically just a racism towards a religion.
Well, the whole point of it is you're rallying your base
Yes.
against a subset of people
Yes.
who would be a minority so that you don't
Yes.
lose votes.
Yes.
And by doing that, you can gain power. And it's just, I mean, it's formulaic. It's not
Yeah.
even that complicated.
And if you have any sense of education where you went to school and paid just a hint of attention, those are connections you can make.
Well, I mean, history is the most unused open book of all time.
It's just, it's wild to me just having the ability to have so much
Self-awareness.
critical thinking and
Yeah.
self-awareness. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I hate it.
Ooh.
I don't like it. I wish I
I
was
am so
dumb.
excited, though. The next time I do talk to my parents, I am going to tell them, oh, by the way, you need to get on your own phone plan because life's about to get so much cheaper for you, so you'll be able to afford it.
Yep, that's exactly what you should say. Hey, think of all the money you'll save on eggs.
I'm going to be like, well, now that you got what you wanted in office, your groceries are going to be so much cheaper because that's what you were worried about. So you can take care of your cell phone bill now. You're going to be fine.
Yep. Hey, well, are you paying for it right now?
Yeah. I've been talking about getting rid of them for a long time, but I haven't committed. And then finally, like, it's like inauguration day when shit was going stupid. I was like, that's it. This is exactly what I'm going to do. And now I'm ready to do it. I told my therapist even, she goes, oh, that's a pretty good idea.
Good for you. Honestly, good for you. That is something that was really nice to dump, was when my parents were on our phone plan. When I finally got rid of them, it was just, it was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just
I fully
like,
support you.
yeah, I'm just like, I'm about to save money getting rid of you.
Goddamn right.
And we're out of time.
Thank you for joining us today on our show. As you can see, therapy is not always easy, but it can be very rewarding and healing.
If you want to follow our journey and see how we progress, tune in next episode for the continuation of We're Not Therapists, but We Need One.
Join us on our socials, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, and Instagram, and email us at nopenotttherapists@gmail.com.
That's NOPENOTTHERAPISTS @gmail.com.
We would love to hear your thoughts on our journey, or any questions you have that we can help answer. Until then,
Stay safe.
mental health is a serious and important issue that affects millions of people around the world.
If you or someone you know is struggling with depression, anxiety, trauma, or have any other mental health conditions, you're not alone, and there is help available.
You don't have to suffer in silence or feel ashamed of your feelings.
There are many resources and support networks that can help you cope and heal.
Here are just a few.
The Crisis Text Line, which is a 24/7 service that connects you to trained crisis counselors who can help you with any type of emotional crisis. You can text HOME to 741-741 in the US or Canada, or 85258 in the UK, or 50808 in Ireland. You can also visit crisistextline.org for more information.
The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is a 24/7 service that provides free and confidential support for people in distress, as well as prevention and crisis resources. You can call them at 1-800-273-8255 or chat online at suicidepreventionlifeline.org.
The Headspace app, which is a meditation and mindfulness app that can help you reduce stress, improve your mood, and enhance your well-being. The app offers guided meditations, breathing exercises, sleep sounds, and other tools that can help you relax and cope with your emotions. You can download the app for free and try it for 10 days or subscribe for unlimited access to all features. You can find the app on the App Store or Google Play, or visit headspace.com for more information.
These are just some of the resources that we have found helpful, but there are many more out there that can suit your needs or preferences. The most important thing is to reach out for help when you need it, and to know that you are not alone. Mental health is not a weakness, but a strength, and taking care of it is one of the best things you can do for yourself and your loved ones. Until next time.